Now poll is figuring out 960 crore rupees. That looks like it's an inline set. The gross NPA is 0.97 as opposed to a comparable of 1.52 on a sequential basis. So this is a huge improvement. And Manish, this is a great number from Yes Bank. Apologies for jumping from HDFC to Yes Bank, but this seems like a good set as of now.
Yeah, it's a very strong performance both on the quality side and the profitability side. Asset quality improved. As we know, in the last quarter they have recognized JP exposure, which going to be reversed in this quarter, and this has happened in the numbers. And as far as the profitability is concerned, they raised capital of equity capital during this quarter, so there will be some benefit in terms of expanding margin at the NI side. So that is also helping to boost the core profitability during the quarter.
A stark improvement in the NPA performance, Manish. What would you attribute that to? The gross NPAs are 0.97% versus a sequential performance of 1.52%. That's a big jump.
Basically,
Manish?
It is a reversal of JP exposure. They recognize NPA in the last quarter, which they reversed in this quarter.
Okay, that makes sense because of the JPA account. Okay, some other numbers. The net NPA, 0.39% versus 0.81% on a sequential basis. The absolute gross NPAs, they've come in at 1,365 crore rupees. They've also come in lower versus the comparable of 2,018 crore rupees sequentially. The NIMs have come in at 3.7% versus 3.6% on a sequential basis. The NII as well has come in higher than the ET Now poll. 1,810 crore rupees on Yes Bank's NII for the first quarter as opposed to the expectation of 1,752 crore rupees. And Mayuresh Joshi, this is a thumbs up from Yes Bank on all quarters at least so far.
Oh yes, Aish, again, I think the expectation was that NII growth should be in excess of 36-37% but looking at the figure that you just told, it looks to be in excess of 40%. Again, the asset quality, I think the reversals are seemingly very evident in terms of what they had reported, and they had expected that to reverse in this quarter. So that's an obvious indication how the GNPAs and the net asset ratio is looking down. But yes, I think in terms of all parameters, I think the NII growth, the reporting of GNPAs in percentage terms, the net NPAs in percentage terms, the NIMs was expected to be stronger because of both capital raising helped by lower cost of funds, because of the inflows, because of CASA post demonetization, and they did reprice a few of the bulk deposits as well. So yes, I think thumbs up to the numbers of what I've been seeing on screen and through the press release so far.
You know, even though our other expert was just making that clarification that the reason that you're seeing such a huge jump in the asset quality improvement is largely on account of the JP Associates account, and now that that's done with, the NIMs have come in, by the way, at 3.7%, which I earlier highlighted, versus a comparable of 3.6%. So asset quality improvement is what we've seen, and we've seen the PAT come in line. The NII definitely has been higher than what we were expecting. There is no new restructuring. There's sale to ARC and SDR in Q1 as well. And net NPAs too have seen a stark improvement. Poonam, what a fabulous performance from Yes Bank this time.
Indeed, Aisha. From Yes Bank during this quarter. In fact, the highlight, I would say, is the entire improvement in terms of asset quality that we are seeing. The GNPA itself coming in at 1,365 crore versus the 2018 crore in the last quarter is substantially, I would say, it's definitely heartening. We are also seeing a fairly inline performance in terms of the profits itself, with a profit of 965 crore coming in there. 1810 is the net interest income growth, net interest income. So fairly inline performance again on the NII front. Good performance, I would say, a 10 bips expansion in terms of the margins, with the margins itself at 3.7%. Specifically, again, very strong advances growth of close to around 32%, and deposit growth we are seeing at 23%. So good going even in terms of the balance sheet performance. The CASA growth again has remained fairly stable at 36% versus 36.3% in the last quarter. That does suggest that possibly we are seeing not too much of CASA deposits getting out of the system post the note ban itself. In fact, a few more details in terms of the asset quality. We are seeing no new restructuring, no sale to ARC, no 525 recast, no S4A during this quarter. Management also states that one account which was nearly around 0.07% of the entire book was upgraded during this quarter, and this account stood from the recast book itself, and that possibly has led to this amount of performance in terms of the GNPAs itself. Besides that, even in terms of the press release, we're seeing that 60% is recovered from one extraordinary account classified as NPA in Q4, and they're also stating that they're further expecting time-bound recoveries going ahead. I do clearly remember that in the last results itself, management had stated that in terms of the cement sector, that cement sector account was nearly around 912 crore, and they were expecting reversal, or they were expecting recoveries from this account. And if I'm not mistaken, this should be the JPA account. Possibly we are seeing those recoveries coming in from that account, but of course management clarity on this would be quite important. So yes, I would say good results. They also stated a stock split of close to around 5 for 1. So again, possibly we would see some amount of improvement even in terms of the liquidity for Yes Bank stock there. Aisha?
Yeah, okay, Poonam, we'll leave it at that. Thanks much for analyzing Yes Bank's performance for us. And, I just want to bring up the intraday chart for Yes Bank. Look at the kind of spike up that you've seen on the stock on account of this performance. Really rewarding right now. 3.5% higher for Yes Bank as we speak. Bring up the intraday graph for Yes Bank. And the stock is only climbing higher and higher as we speak right now, after what looked like a very, very quiet move in the stock up until the earnings reportage, and then that huge spike up which has come in. We're really interested to hear out what Rana Kapoor has to say about the future trajectory of Yes Bank, what they plan to do, what's the eventual plan of action for Yes Bank, and what's really the vision ahead for the future quarters. But this is definitely a thumbs up performance from Yes Bank.